So y'all remember the old John Deere 318? A couple months ago I changed the starter on. Well, it turns out I got bamboozled by one of these shady online people on eBay and sold a return one, and they wouldn't stand by the warranty, and well, I gotta change the starter again. So I got one from a reputable place this time, and they sent me the wrong one. So I'm gonna have to send that back. And I primarily used the John Deere to supplement this one, because this is one, I got it new, but I learned the hard way about the Briggs and Stratton Intech overhead valve engines. A one lung 19 horsepower. Yeah, they're not very good engines. The first one blew the head gasket. Thankfully that was still under warranty. So I got a brand new one like 5 months into owning this. Well, it got that normal hard to start condition, and my plan was get the John Deere fixed. Low hanging fruit, I'd fix this one. Well, while I was waiting for the wrong starter to come from that one, I decided I'd cut the grass with this one, and she threw a rod through the side of the block. So right now I got a couple acres to cut and no riding mower. And I've loaned out my push mower. So anyway, I'm going to be getting the push mower back probably here in a few minutes, honestly, because the person bringing it back to me. But I got that off Marketplace. So we're going to see if a $60 engine can work on this Ariens riding mower. Because Moses, those things have gotten expensive. Alright, future me here. I noticed while I was editing the video, I really didn't really show y'all why we're doing this. Yeah, we got that hole in the block there, and the smaller one there. So yeah, this engine was beyond repair. Alright, so what I got off Marketplace here is a 17 horsepower. That had 19, but I don't think that'll make that big a deal. I think 17's more than enough. But we got a Kohler, and going from a questionable Briggs to a Kohler, I think it's an upgrade. And made for a Toro instead of Ariens, which when you look at the part stuff on the Ariens, it says Husqvarna. Maybe that's like Husqvarna's less expensive line. I don't know, but anyway, let's worry about getting the blown engine off the Ariens. Now, obviously, if I thought this mower was questionable, I wouldn't be doing an engine swap. Anyway, it is a 2015 model. It's 9 years old. That's been kept under a lean-to. Not a full garage, but a lean-to, so it's protected. Piece of engine block. But the deck's in reasonably good shape, not perfect. Frame's in good shape, transmission's in good shape. So in my opinion, this is a good candidate for an engine swap. So first, like I said, let's get the old one out. And we also want to secure power so I don't accidentally arc stuff. Just stick the bolts in there so we don't lose them. That would lead to a bad day. So, battery secure. Now let's worry about getting this engine off here. So you gotta get this off first. It looks like some 10 millimeters back here. Yep. Intech 19.0. Next, I guess we'll get this pigtail here disconnected to the lights. And just find it's just you gotta get at the right angle, put a lift off. Alright. Let's see what looks like it be next. Looks like this exhaust will be a pain to get out. So that takes Allen screws. Awesome sauce. And gonna have to disconnect all this wiring rigmarole. This is probably gonna be the hardest part. I should bring you around this side. Starter. What's on this side? Fuel line, vapor line, and throttle cable. Very good. Be my snarks on this side. Other than that, it doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot to getting this engine off. Let's see. That's a grill. Why is there electricity? Carburetor. Electric choke? No, that wouldn't be the case because it's cable. Huh. I don't know, and how critical is it? I don't know, we'll figure this out. I'm also going to be curious when this is all said and done, figure out why she blew. I don't know. What caused it to blow the engine? Yo ho and blow the motor down. It's going to be a little bit of a booger to get the pulley off too. But maybe, just maybe, I could get it off all in one unit and then do it out here. Alright, let me go get my Allen bits. Alright, so I got my Allen set here. By the way, this is a set I got when I was changing the clutch on the Dodge truck. And I thought it was just something silly I'd use once or twice. This, my friend, has been handy. Well, that's loose. I guess I should have done like I initially said. Here's where the exhaust bolt's in. That muffler's down there. And over here I was talking about the wires that gotta be disconnected. I'm going to disconnect that with this harness. But also, I guess I need to see. I guess all it needs really is a starter wire and a wire to tell it to run and a wire to tell it not to. I don't know what all these wires do. That's alright, we'll figure it out. But it looks like we got a screw here. We probably got another one back, yeah, right there. And probably two more on the other side. And then, y'all are actually getting a better view than me, because I can't even see this. We've got to do something about that pulley, I'm pretty sure. I put a little piece of hardboard on the ground too for my knees. Alright, go ahead and get this off the starter. This thing like to eat starters like candy too, by the way. Hopefully they're the same on the Kohler, because that one's pretty much brand new. Alright, wire harness disconnected. The starter wire is disconnected. Oh yeah, I got the stuff on the other side. Shoot! Alright, over on this side, ooh, squishy CPR dummy on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and wake up you. Alright, now, I'll see a shut-off valve. I'll probably add one in somewhere in here, because that'd be a good thing to have in this little Mickey Mouse filter. I'll put a Witz on it, or something like that. Anyway, yeah, let's get this off, and I guess I'm going to need to round up a bolt to stick in there real quick so I don't lose all my gas, because... Oh yeah, she had almost a full tank when she blew. I'm glad that came off. Alright, so got this bolt out of my box. And hopefully that'll be the right size to just go in here and stop up the fuel line when I do this. See, come on off. Alright, so there's that. Now right here we got this is the part where it's going to be probably the hardest to retrofit. Nothing's still connected on this side, nor on this side. So in theory, I should be able to pull this engine. But I almost guarantee something's going to get in the way. Alright, so I elevated it up on some stuff I'm sure is OSHA approved. A stack of concrete bricks, an old brake drum. So anyway, time to crawl under, risk my face, and see what's involved in dropping everything out the bottom. Also, like old tailgate protector here, but just something to lay on. I'm gonna really hope it's a 5/8 because I already got around the impact. Alright, so first, this is holding one of the pulleys on. Now get off. Now let's see if I can't find the bolts. They do kind of look 5/8-ish. They're kind of looking more 9/16. Also gonna have to figure out how to get the transmission belt off. There's 1, 2, 3. That pulley's off. Drop the pulley off. And there we go. We can get this muffler off because chances are I'm going to have to use the other one. Alright, so there we go. That's our platform we have to deal with. Take this as a good opportunity to get in there and do some cleaning. And then, I guess, start putting the Kohler on and figuring out how this is all going to work. If it's going to work. Or if I threw away 60 bucks. No worries, I think I can get my money back. Yep. What you need. Well, step 1, the Kohler seems to fit on the frame. That's a good thing. Be nice if it fits under the hood and I don't have to do any kind of surgery. But we'll do what we gotta do. Modification wise. I'm a little worried about this, but well, we'll see what happens. Maybe who knows? Cross that bridge when we get to it. Toro! You don't know, that means that's Spanish for bull. And the guy said the engine was drained. That's fine, I was going to change oil in it anyway. And really, that filter doesn't look bad. But as I just stated, I'm going to change that anyway. I wonder if the Kohlers are like the Briggs where the 98 Saturn filter fits. If so, that'd make me happy. So far, ain't looking too bad. The jury's kind of out. Bet this long, excuse me, I'll cuff them now. Bet this long drain pipe here is a little bit ridiculous, possibly, but I'm not overly worried about it. Wonder what it used to be on other than a Toro. Looks like it's got the same bolt pattern. That's nice. Alright, so Briggs bolts and Kohler bolts are not the same. Not a big deal. Gonna flip it up. See if I can't figure out, without crawling under, what the correct bolts are. Alright, so last night I went to the hardware store and matched up, and I believe I found the bolts. Metric. 8mm, but I think it's 1.25 pitch. I don't know. I don't mess with the metric stuff normally, but anyway, it is what it is. So let's get it on. Let's get it on. Starting to sound like Marvin Gaye here. Let's get it on. putting the pulley on. Alright, so if the engine bolted down and the drive pulley hooked back up and the drive belt hooked back up, we still got some work to do. Evidently, well, this is pretty self-explanatory, that this is a starter wire. And I can go ahead and just attach that now. Yeah, I'll tighten up later. We got some wires on this engine, like this one goes right here. No, that's not wire. Nonetheless, there's wires, and on this side of the engine, where the harness is right here on the old one. And I think since this engine is trash, I'm going to try to get the harness off it and reuse what I can. Thing is, I was doing all this stuff trying to get in there and figure out what was what. And I forgot I had a hole inside the block, so yeah, I kind of made a mess. But nonetheless, I am going to try to salvage the harness and figure out what does what so I can hook it up to the new one. Cut that, that's just a ground. And the zip tie, cut that. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So let's see, that goes to Magneto. The plug, or is it? How's it in there? Yeah, she plugged. Oh, she actually stuck. Amazing. Carb, mag, and where the other two go. These go up under the flywheel. One item I really don't want to pull. I'd rather just take their word for it. And they go inside there. Whew, ain't no telling what they do. So anyway, hopefully I won't have to extend any of these. White one to the carburetor, black one to the outer mag. I think this thing, well, I don't know what it is. Me and small engines don't get along. This is probably going to require me taking the cover off this one. See, there's one. This would be the one that goes to the mag, or whatever that thing is. And then these two, I don't know. Do a little research on this. But anyway, we know a couple of them do. Where I put the harness? Do you know? Jack, did you see where I put it? Right here. Thanks, Jack. These two will be alright. Those two splice them together. These last two right here, I don't know what to do with. But no worries, I will figure this out. I just don't know. Alright, so we determined the white wire here goes to the carburetor. And if I have one of these female connections, I'll just crimp that to the white wire, call it a day. Oh no, not really call it a day, I got more work to do, but I think you know what I meant. Alright, so I don't. That is disappointing. I do have this. Remove this connector. Yeah, I want as much length as I could. do this one male. Using male and female spade terminals for this. And ordinarily I like to heat shrink these terminals, but in my haste to go to OBX I kind of misplaced my heat shrink. So what I'm going to do instead is go ahead and snap these two together and then just wrap some electrical tape around it. Yeah, there we go. And that's it for that roll. Now for this I'm going to have to be a little more creative because I'm going to have to snip this casing back. And same thing. Hopefully I won't ever have to take these off, but if I do, shouldn't be too difficult. Gonna find me some more electrical tape, and I'm gonna have to do something with this. Fortunately / unfortunately. This one right here obviously does nothing. And I really think when we got two wires here with no distinction, they don't mean much. So I'm just going to do clip. Look at it real good. Clip. And remove. Appears the camera went out, but maybe not. But anyway, if I forgot to turn on, right here, I used the solder pellet heat shrink butt connectors to extend the wire. These wires will go on to run the engine where they can be patched up on the other side. These leaves out here too. Yeah. Alright, so it's a new day. I've kind of looked things over. Got a little bit of a plan, if you could believe that. Yes, I took the air cleaner off, just trying to figure out the best way to hook everything up. And also I compared it to the carburetor on the Lawnmower. And I might actually be able to use the carburetor. But it does bring me to a question, where does the fuel enter the carburetor? That's a good question. Oh, looks like right here. Anyway, like I said, it looks like I could use the oil if I have to, because if this is gummed up, that's probably just the quickest way to do it. And we know the thing ran clear past the limits of the engine, blew a hole inside the block. The other thing's exhaust. I'm going to get to exhaust in a little bit. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that. And we're going to need to change the oil in it. That's fine. Need to hook up my throttle cable, and we're going to need to put blades on it. So anyway, looks like the cable's kind of up-down action on this. And it goes through this, it would appear. So let's see, get that in there. That's under here, and fasten that down. Alright. Let's see, that's the turtle. That's right, and it chokes. Grab it, choke. Yeah, that looks like that'll work. So, the exhaust. So on this one, the exhaust hole is right here. Sticking my finger up it, it's up under the engine. And this is the muffler thingy that came with it. It almost makes me wonder what kind of device this engine was on, because somehow or another it goes up in there and bolts to the side of the engine. And that's going to interfere with the hood and all, so we can't do that. We've got to come up with something different. And the flange on the old one is too narrow, which is kind of sad, because I could do this, just port it out the front or something. Well, maybe not ideal, but it would work. Or option C, keep in mind we don't have a good one yet, is to go hi-ya right there, and then me somehow never join the one from this mower to that, make a custom exhaust. And while that's not my first choice, it might be my best one. And I just on my Ford truck, I just weld up my own exhaust, so like I said, I don't really want to do it that way, but if I have to drag the welder out, I mean, it's not like it's something I hadn't done in the past week or so. Now, if I did like that, it'll just blow out underneath it. Not necessarily a bad way to go, really. Alright, let's look at this mock-up. Get an idea where we need to dump that exhaust out. And it's good, that's a nice little line right there. Right here, there's a line between the rust and the paint. Looks like a good spot to cut it. Now, if you are doing this and you do not own a welder, you're not out of luck. What you could do, and if I didn't have a welder, I'd do it myself, be hack this off right here, the flange. I'm going to leave it because there's no point, but you could do that. And if you go into the electrical section of Lowe's, in the conduit section, they make compression fittings. And exhaust pipe and electrical conduit are just about the same thing. You could just get one of them, stick on, and put yours together that way. But since I have a welder, I will weld. What I need is something just to scrap a line. Probably a marker. What I'm doing right here is I'm holding everything in line just like I want it. I'm going to take a Sharpie. I'm going to do a line just like this. I'll bring you in and show you. But what's going to happen is those two lines, they line up like that. That shows me how I need to orient it to weld them together. Alright, so what I've done, I got it up here on the pipe vise. This is one of the best marketplace finds I've had. 50 bucks for this thing. Got it left out in the weather. So it was seized up. I brought it home, dumped my used motor oil on it, hit it with a mallet a few times. Everything's great. But anyway, got my marks lined up. So now, and this is just a flux core 110 welder. I got it in Northern. I welded up the exhaust on my truck with it. Did fine. Certainly can do some mower. Alright, so camera died. No worries, just shaved my phone. And I hadn't scraped this, chipped this, anything. This is just straight weld. And believe it or not, I've actually gotten better at my welding. But yeah, we got a little bit of excess wire right there. It could be cleaned up, but yeah, that should get the job done. Yeah, I better get my glove before I move that. Alright, so up under here's where it's going. And this is how she's gonna look. Yes, I did have to trim that flange a little bit. Now just to bolt it up. And there we go, one exhaust pipe. Could I reattach the muffler and use the old stop muffler? Probably, but open header, why not? And that's essentially what that is an open header. Alright, so oil change. I don't know the history on this engine. The outside of the filter looks clean, but that's not good enough for me. I'm going to change the oil in it anyway. Honestly, I don't even think there's any oil in it. So, yeah, I know you can go and get the Briggs and Stratton and the Kohler and the John Deere oil filters. But one thing, a trick I learned a long time ago, is most any small engine that's got oil filter, And this is the case on the old Ariens Briggs engine, the Onan engine on the John Deere, and I believe so on this Kohler. Is you go to an auto parts store, you look up 1998 Saturn. I imagine there's a lot of other things too, but what I was taught was a Saturn. And you get that filter and you save a pile of money. I could have bought 3 of these for one Kohler cost. And if I gone to a store that sold wicks, I could have wicks. But STP will do. It was either this or another brand we won't get into. So, STP. This legit looks like a brand new filter. And if you look in here, that looks pretty daggone good. So I'm already feeling better about this engine. Just like the other brands, that STP 3614 does fit. All right, so I got the side cover bolts back on the engine. Now, I need to put some oil in it. And I'm going to use this 30 weight Rotella. I tend to use single viscosity in my air-cooled engines. I don't know why. I think somebody told me one time I was supposed to. Maybe not, but that's what I'm doing. This is primarily a summertime use implement anyway, so it should be fine. Well, this is not good. Glad I saw this though before I tried to fire it up. I am hoping that there was some type of oversight on my part. Otherwise, I got bamboozled and I'm out some money. And a few afternoons. Well, let's see what happens. All right, so good-ish news. This was loose. And that's what was causing my problem. So it was an oversight. And honestly, it didn't take me but a few minutes to get back to this point. I just want to look in there, make sure gaskets are straight and all that, and then I'll cinch up tight. But yeah, it's not a crack block or anything like that, because I'm not gonna lie, I was worried for a second. What in the world is that? I don't know. And something tells me maybe I should be worried. But we'll cover it up, pretend like we never saw that. Back together again. Now, I'm gonna want to see if this thing cranks, and also will it run. I'm gonna sit you on the fender of my old Chevy here. Engine been sitting a while. I usually like to use 2-stroke gas, but we got a side draft carburetor. So. That's not good. And I hear a spark up there. Something wrong. All right, we got the new starter on this. Now, it's not my favorite way to start it, but heck, side draft carburetor, what do you do? I'd say she works. All right, so let's hook a fuel supply up and the other nifty goodies, and we go have us a mower again. I'm a bit tired of that thing. All right, surprise for me. This is a fuel pump engine. And it's on the opposite side from where the old one was. So my fuel line, look how short that is. But anyway, I'm gonna put the bigger filter in. I guess I'll get a 1.25-inch fuel line. But I'm not gonna do that right now because, well, I gotta go to work tomorrow. It's starting to get sunset. Spend some time with the wife. I got on the way home from work. There's an AutoZone, so I'll pick up the filter, the line, and just look for something I can do in the meantime. All right, I gotta get this air box on. I've got that part down. But you may have noticed these things are broke off, but I got something for that. It won't be hard at all. But first, these are the blades on here. And, you know, this deck has seen its better days, but I'm about ready to blow that thing up. But yeah, have these in the shed, brand new. Looks like I caught them on sale or something. That's nice. So anyway, while I'm at, go ahead and change these blades out. We know the engine runs. We know we got a good engine, so we know we're not wasting our time now. La 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 la. Good. Huh, a little dangerous. Let's put our feet in there. One, two, bolts. And over here, this has been repeatedly hit, so we gotta beat the snot out of that to get it to clear. Clearance achieved. Alright, so right here to mount this bracket, I've taken the little screws out and the little plastic things that broke off. And just gonna use that to, I've got a little tiny bit in my drill. I'm just gonna put some pallet holes in here. That one. And this one. And now, just up to a bigger bit. I think this is an 1/8" bit, not sure. So I'm going to take this off pretty gingerly, keep those particles from going in the engine. Probably would have been wise to do that first, but I haven't fired it. Nothing sucked it in, so no harm, no foul. Let me get this off. Also, thinking while I got this thing off, let's clean it up a little bit. Try to get everything lined up best I can. And that's not too bad. Run that one in. Easy does it. No need to be in a rush here. But nonetheless, got to be a little more careful on this side because of that line under it. Even though that line really doesn't carry much of anything. Try to get as close to how it goes as possible. Insert screw. Alright, there we go. Repaired. Get this slid on. Port that in. And there's one of the nuts. I wonder where the other one went. Alright, so everything's mounted up. I would like to put a new air cleaner on this, but being this is a $60 used engine, I do kind of want to do a little something before I invest any more money. Like hear it run for more than a couple seconds on starting fluid. But yeah, we're getting close. I'm gonna put the lid on this. We got a little work to do on the other side, but we're really close right now. All right, 1/4" fuel line. My God, I quit buying this stuff at the parts store because it got so expensive. Well, 1/4" line is not something I use with my car, so I went and bought a length of it. Good Lord. This stuff, $14 a foot for this. So yeah, typically I go and I get the 25-foot rolls for about $30 on Amazon. AC Delco, aka Gates. Anyway, I'm not really thinking I'm going to use a whole lot of 1/4", so it really still was cheaper for me to go buy it from parts store, but woo-wee. So anyway, what I'm going to do is take this, I cut a little piece off, And I'm going to put this inline filter on it. A whole lot better than the one that came with it. This is what they had. 1/4 inch. Actually a pretty nice looking filter. Oops. Make sure I get the fuel direction right. And yeah, I don't have a whole lot on this side, but I got a little plan for that. No, these things get used about half a year. So I want to be able to cut the fuel line off. Or if I go service it, like say I am now, I'm not shoving a bolt in the end of the line. Got a cutoff valve. So this is another improvement. It's a good idea for me to use new line, but I'm doing this because, well, the way the two engines are laid out, I needed the longer length. Anyway. Again, make sure I got the flow direction correct. And forget to put a hose clamp on it. Anyway, I'm going to clamp all this on together. And then the line that stubs out of the tank and goes to the current filter, that's where I'm going to tie this in. Yeah, I should replace the whole thing, but $14 a foot, Alright, so I got a little test run in it, about 30 seconds, running good. I am going to have to adjust the carburetor a little bit because it's right here is about where you want to run. If I do this, yeah, you'll red light and we'll have that situation again. So I guess I need to put a mark on there so the wife knows, because she really enjoys cutting the grass. She calls it mow therapy. But it is usable like it is. Like I say, I'm going to come back and try to get that carburetor adjusted, but at the same time, we need this thing. So I'm going to put the deck back under it, and well, we should have a functioning mower. Okay, deck reinstalled. Zip tied the cable. Hood's attached. Lights are hooked up. Reattached the rope. What else to do? Oh yeah, I put the belt keeper back on. Now, it's time to make this thing move under its own power. For the first time in several weeks, but with its new engine. Yeah. Nice key, huh? Alright, so definitely got to look into the idle adjustment on this. But it is usable. Also, may look into putting a muffler on it, see if I can't figure out something there, because, well, that might actually bring the idle down. Maybe not, I don't know. And it's kind of loud. Alright, so it's been about a month ago since I did the engine swap on the old Arians. And she's done pretty good. We've had several mowing sessions since then, and really minimal problems, just kind of learning it. Still, still need to change that carburetor adjustment, whatever, because it's still a little off. I put those marks on there to mark where the ideal throttle is, both with and without a load. But yeah, if this helps you, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit a like on the video, it helps me out a lot. My goal is to get to the end of the season when Lowe's and Home Depot and such They bring their Christmas stuff out and clear out the lawn and garden area, and they make these things much cheaper than they are now. So anyway, that's the plan. Also, I may have a zero turn coming. I don't know that for sure yet, but that'll be a revival. And that would be a good replacement for this. But anyway, she's running good, doing well. I just know that we borrowed some time on this one. I mean, that it's a 2015 mower with a 2004 engine on it. So anyway, till next time, take care of yourself, happy mowing, and I hope this helps somebody out there out. It can be done.